Hi, I'm Karan Thapar. Over the last few years, I hope you've been watching my program, The Interview on the Wire. During that period, I've interviewed doctors, politicians, businessmen, scientists, authors, and even the occasional Nobel laureate. For me, it's been exciting. I hope it's been enjoyable for you. But these, as you know, are tough times, and if this program is going to remain bold, independent, and sometimes even defiant, then I think we need your support. At the end of the day, it's a truism, but editorial independence is best defended by the viewers. So if you would like this program to remain the way it is, forthright, outspoken, and interesting, then would you consider supporting us? All you have to do is to click on the description at the bottom. But more than anything else, I hope you will continue to watch the interview. Your viewership means an awful lot to me. Hello and welcome to a special interview for The Wire. As it becomes increasingly clear that the government in Delhi and Imphal is incapable of handling the crisis in Manipur effectively, some would add even handling it sincerely, civil society organizations have stepped into the picture. And at the forefront is the Forum for the Restoration of Peace. Its convener, Ashang Kasar, is in Delhi, and today he's my guest. Mr. Kasar is also the president of the Indigenous Peoples Forum of Manipur. Mr. Kasar, let's start with the Forum for the Restoration of Peace. This was specifically set up as a result of the communal clashes in Manipur that began on the 3rd of May. So let me start by asking you, what is the forum's key intention and purpose?
Sir, Karan, after the accident happened in Manipur on last 3rd May, this Forum for Restoration of Peace is a form. This is comprising 3 communities, Nagas, Imphal Base, and Meitei Pangals, Muslim, and Manipur Gorkhas. So this forum intention is, to bring restoration of, for normalcy and peace. Because, the situation was very worse, and day by day it becomes worse and worse. So these 3 communities are, the neutral communities or neutral party at this juncture. Therefore, with the 3 communities are form this Forum for Restoration of Peace for restoration of normalcy and peace in the state of Manipur.
Was the idea of creating this forum your own idea?
Pardon me?
Was the idea your idea?
It's I'm the masterminded, I should say. And before we formed that, we discussed each other. I met many leaders. After that marathon discussion, we formed this Forum for Restoration of Peace in the interest of Manipur.
Now you have told me that it comprises 3 communities.
Yes.
Manipuri Nagas,
Yes.
Meitei Pangals, who are in fact the Muslims of Manipur,
Yes.
and members of the Gorkha community.
Yes.
You have deliberately left out the Kukis and the Meitei. Why have you left them out?
At this juncture, both the Meitei and the Kuki, communities are tented of peace, initiative due to violence committed by both the parties. At such a crucial, juncture, and when the state administration of Manipur has admitted, the security failures at all fronts, on its side. Therefore, we formed this, forum excluding Meiteis and the Kukis, because the conflict is now between Meiteis and the Kukis in general or in particular. Therefore, the peace committee or the third party should be not those not involved in the conflict. That's why we formed this Forum for Restoration of Peace, excluding Meiteis and the Kukis. It is a peace process.
Now, I gather that you were the person who proposed to Home Minister Amit Shah
Yeah.
when he visited Manipur at the end of May
Yeah.
that a state-level peace committee should be established.
Yes.
He accepted your idea.
Yes.
And before he left, he announced the formation of the Peace Committee.
Yes.
But on the 13th of June,
Yes.
you went on record to say, and I'm quoting you, "We doubt that the Peace Committee will serve its purpose." Why have you turned against the Peace Committee you recommended?
Yeah, we propose, in the very positive or constructive way, the Peace Committee should be a neutral party or third person. That's why when we proposed the peace, to form the Peace Committee before the Home Minister, we, have clearly, mentioned that this Peace Committee should be inclusive, irrespective of caste and creed. All the, communities, each community's representative. That, we have 34 community tribes in Manipur. So, let's leave Kukis and Meiteis. There is another 30 communities are there. So these 30 communities or tribes should be the Peace Committee. They are the neutral person.
And they are not represented in the Peace Committee?
Yeah, not representing in the Peace Committee. But after declared the Peace Committee, the Peace Committee list was something different, beyond our expectation.
In the press communique you issued on the 13th of June, and I'm quoting, you say, "This state-level Peace Committee is just old wine in new bottles. Tainted politicians who were hiding at the peak of the violence and politicians who did not dare to come out to extinguish the violence are now included in the Peace Committee." You're saying old politicians, tainted politicians, politicians who did not stop the violence should not have been included, but they have been. That's why you don't like this committee.
Right? Because during this ruling government, the accident was happened. Conflict is going on. So the Chief Minister and the Minister, MLAs, politicians are, including in the, the present conflict or the prevailing situation in Manipur. So this is a peace process. So these MLAs, ministers, CMs should not be included in the Peace Committee because this clearly our Kuki brothers has mentioned that until unless Chief Minister is not stepped down, we will not be start the peace process. So this is a mockery.
So including Biren Singh, including ministers,
Yes.
including MLAs was a mistake.
Yeah, it's a totally mistake. It's a totally mistake. They are the government. In this peace process, they should not be the member. Because government is the sole authority or they are the authority of the, final decision.
You make a second point in that press communique you issued on the 13th of June. Again, I'm quoting you.
Yeah.
The state-level peace committee should be neutral, excluding
Yes.
members from the warring communities of Meiteis and
Yes.
Kukis. That's another mistake they've made. They should not have included Meiteis and Kukis in the committee.
Yeah, they should not be included in the peace committee at this juncture. Because, as I have mentioned, these two communities are fighting each other and conflict, is among these two communities.
So you are disappointed with the committee. The idea was yours.
Yes.
You must have been very pleased
Yes.
when the Home Minister accepted it.
Yes.
But the way he's created it and the people he's appointed to it, you are very disappointed.
Yes. Yeah, because the state government, the leaders have, manipulated the peace committee. I'm not, against anybody, or I'm not, not feel sad whether I am the peace committee member or not. That's not the matter. That's not the question. But the focus should be clear, because when the Home Minister visited, I have, clearly mentioned that this peace committee the peace committee should be included all the communities representative. But only 2-3 communities are there.
All 34 tribes
Yeah,
should have been
should
represented.
there.
And you say only 2 or 3 are there.
Yeah, 2-3 others, and in that peace committee, again some valley CSOs are included there.
Now, this was a communique you issued on the 13th of June.
Yes.
Let's move forward.
Yes.
On the 3rd of July,
Yes.
you issued a second press release.
Yes.
This time you were strongly critical
Yes.
of the way the central government
Yes.
is handling Manipur.
Yes.
I'm going to quote from that press release.
Yes.
You write, pumping in thousands and thousands of military personnel in the state of Manipur
Yes.
will not bring peace and normalcy.
Yeah.
You say what's needed is a dialogue between the conflicting parties.
Yes.
And you specifically add the Prime Minister of India should have invited both the parties on his small table to resolve the issue amicably.
Yeah.
What you're saying
Yeah.
is
I'm
that
saying-
the way the government is handling the crisis is wrong, its strategy is mistaken.
Exactly, you are right. Totally, that central government handling the situation is totally wrong. They have no policy, they have no strategy, but on blindly they are, handling the situation. That's why even after 70 days now, there's no any positive, there's no any improving the situation. They cannot control. So let me tell you very clearly.
In other words, I'm just interrupting
Yes.
you. In other words, you're saying the central government
Yes.
does not have a clear and good idea of how to handle Manipur.
Exactly, you are right. Exactly, you are right.
Even after 75 days,
Yes.
they actually don't know what to do.
Yes, exactly. And that, let me give the proof. Even 75 days now, the nation Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi, yet no visited.
Let me get from you a clarification
Yeah.
about something you said in that press release of the 3rd of July, when you very seriously and roundly criticized the central government's handling. You talked about pumping in thousands and thousands of military personnel into the state of Manipur.
Yeah.
You said this will not bring peace and security. Specifically on that point, why is it a mistake to send in up to 36,000 soldiers from the army and paramilitary? Explain that to me.
Now, more than 60,000 paramilitary security forces are employing in the state of Manipur. But even 72 days now, they cannot control. There is no improving the situation. There is no improving the law and order. So
Why?
Yeah.
Are they not giving, have they not been given a free hand? Is that the problem? Or do they not know how to handle the situation?
Yeah, that may be the lapses of the central government policy, as I have mentioned before. That is the lapses and the weak of the central policy. Then unnecessarily they deploying the security forces. Then if the central security forces are deploying, the situation should be improved.
Okay. Now, this was part of a statement you issued on the 3rd of July, where you have very roundly, strongly, and severely criticized the central government. And as you confirmed, they don't have an idea how to tackle the situation. The steps they're taking are the wrong ones.
Yes.
After that, on the 10th of July, exactly a week ago, you also criticized the governor of Manipur. I'm quoting what you said. The governor of Manipur is only focusing attention towards the valley civil society organizations, leaving behind civil society organizations of all communities in the hills. And then you specifically added, we appeal to the governor of Manipur to convene a meeting of all civil society organizations of Manipur, of both the hills and the valley, to discuss and seek more views and opinions on the prevailing situation in Manipur. Let me first ask you, why do you think the governor is only reaching out to civil society organizations from the valley and not talking to civil society organizations from the hills? What's the explanation for that?
Till today, governor has never invited, to all the stakeholders, communities from both the hills and the valleys. Till today, no initiating any consultative meeting or what the so-called peace meeting. She visited only some valley areas and interacted with the CSOs and the relief camp and that. But she, never invited to the hills, CSOs. There are many hills CSOs are there. As I have mentioned, 34 tribes are there. 34 communities are there. So why she concerned only in the valley? This issues is affecting the all Manipur people in general.
Let me ask you this. Do you suspect prejudice? Do you suspect favoritism? Even if CSOs from the hills are unwilling to come to Imphal because they're scared for their lives, they're scared they'll be attacked, the governor has the capacity to go to Chura Chandpur or to Kangpokpi. Why is she not making that effort? That's why I ask, is this prejudice? Is this favoritism?
It is not favoritism, but this governor is, I think, it's a new governor. It's only 3-4 months, I think, that, the governor, appointed in last, I think, 3-4 months only. But
So you're saying she's inexperienced?
yeah, exactly. She's unexperienced.
You're saying that because of her inexperience,
Yes.
she does not know how to
Yes.
handle matters.
Yes, yes, yes.
You really mean
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. You are right.
Because I ask, because the governor doesn't act on her own. She has advisors, she has the chief minister, she has the government in Delhi. Despite that, she still failed to reach out to hill-based civil society organizations. So you're saying she's not just inexperienced, you're also saying she's getting the wrong advice.
Exactly. That is, I can give the proof. The governor has never visited Ukhrul district headquarters, Chandel district headquarters, Tamelong district headquarters, Nonne district headquarters, Kamjong district headquarters, Senapati district headquarters. The governor confined only this Imphal Valley, and once she visited in Chorachambu headquarters. Yeah, but all the hill valleys, CSO, they can come to Imphal.
Okay.
Only some Kuki that leaders. Otherwise, the all Naga CSOs, why not? They could come.
But she hasn't invited them.
Yeah, she's not invited till today. Officially, she has not invited till today.
Okay, you're saying to me that the governor is new, she's inexperienced, she's poorly advised, and therefore she's not doing her job properly. That is your conclusion.
Yes, because the present, Manipur state is totally politicalized.
Now, let's come to the most recent step your forum has taken. On the 14th of July,
Yes.
that's exactly 3 days ago,
Yes.
when the Prime Minister was in fact in France,
Yes.
it was French National Day, Bastille Day
Yes.
at the time, you sent a letter to the Prime Minister.
Yes.
I want to quote the last sentence of that letter. It says, "In case your honor fails to come to Manipur and resolve the conflict within 10 days, this forum would be compelled to resort to any step in the interests of the people of Manipur." Now, to begin with, that sounds to many like a threat, but I take it you don't mean it and intend it as a threat. This is an expression of your anguish and your desperation.
Exactly. As a citizen of Manipur, and we are really feel sad when we see the present prevailing situation in Manipur. So, after 2-3 days, we will invite all the stakeholders and we'll have meeting. I think after that, we'll try to form the non-violence movement.
I'll come to that in a moment's time. Let's
Yes.
first continue to talk about the letter you sent the Prime Minister.
Yes.
What is it that you want the Prime Minister to say or do if he agrees to come to Manipur?
Yeah, if the Prime Minister is, warmly accept our that application, and if he visit in Manipur, people are waiting unjustly, happily, people are waiting, and the Prime Minister of this nation should visit in Manipur, and he should start a peace dialogue with the two parties.
You mean Kuki and Meitei?
Yeah, Kukis and Meitei.
You think
as the Prime Minister of India.
You're saying he should personally get involved in starting the dialogue?
Sure, exactly, because the whole Manipur population, people are expecting something from the Prime Minister of India.
So this is his personal responsibility.
Yes, exactly. He's the Prime Minister of this nation.
In fact, you're not saying that it's a personal responsibility, you're suggesting it's a moral duty.
It's a moral duty, and he shall bear the responsibility.
3 days have passed since you sent this letter to the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
You wrote it on the 14th, you
Yes.
delivered it on the 14th, today is the 17th.
Yes.
Have you had any response from him or his office, or is it too early to expect a response?
Not yet. We didn't receive, any response till today.
Not even a phone call from someone in
Yeah,
his office?
no.
Nothing.
Yeah, this is the system of India. This is the system of central government.
Let me ask you this. If the Prime Minister does not go to Manipur, and it's extremely unlikely that he will, as you yourself said, 75 days have
Yes.
passed, he hasn't said a word in public
Yes.
about the crisis in Manipur. So it's very unlikely that he'll actually go to Manipur.
Yeah.
Now you've given him 10 days.
Yes.
Those 10 days end on the 24th, 25th
Yes.
of July.
Yes.
What will you do if the Prime Minister doesn't come to Manipur by the 24th, 25th of July?
I think if he turn down this policy, the situation of the Manipur will become worse and worse, and there will be no ending the war conflict. Many people will die again, and the Manipur state become one of the wonderful planet in this world.
Let me quote once again from the press release you issued on the 3rd of July.
Yes.
You write, and I'm quoting you, "The Forum for Restoration of Peace will demonstrate a massive people's movement in the state of Manipur as well as in the national capital of India
Yeah.
to show before the world
Yeah.
that the Union Government of India is not interested to resolve the ethnic violence
Yes.
taking place in the state of Manipur."
Yes.
First of all, let me ask you this. Given the fact that there is a sharp demographic and geographical separation that has taken place in Manipur, how confident are you that you can actually create a massive people's movement involving all communities? How confident are you can do that?
Involving all the communities, this movement is very affecting. It will be very affecting. That's why we tread through this public movement. So,
But you're confident you can do it?
yeah, we'll do it. We are preparing for that. Not only in India, even in abroad, we will publish, expose all this.
Let's first talk about
Yeah.
Manipur. There
Yes.
is a sharp division in Manipur.
Yes.
There are no Meitei in the hills. There
Yeah.
are no Kukis in the valley.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So how will you create a mass movement if the two communities can't even be beside each other?
No, excluding Meiteis and the Kukis, we have Nagas, Manipuri, that Gorkhas, Meitei Pangals are there. These three communities enough, quite enough to start a movement. That's no problem.
And you're confident you can do it?
Yes, why not? Why not? Why not?
Then let me ask you this. Let's assume that you can create a massive people's movement. That will clearly express the fact that the people of Manipur are anguished, that they feel let down by the central government, they feel betrayed.
Yes.
That I understand.
Yes.
But how will that massive movement bring the Kukis and the Meitei together? That is the problem. How will the massive movement help you tackle that problem?
Now, this massive movement for restoration of normalcy and peace, we will not against or attack to any communities. This will not attack to Kukis and the Meiteis. But as a citizen of Manipur, we will this movement will be for only bringing peace and harmony in the state of Manipur.
But do you think this movement will put pressure on the Kuki and the Meitei to start talking to each other?
Yes, this will also will be affecting to the Kukis and the Meiteis, that we appeal to both the parties and the communities, since the last month. Till today, we are appealing to our brothers Meiteis and the Kukis.
Let me ask you this. Your organization is called the Forum for the Restoration of Peace. Why don't you yourselves directly take the initiative and start a dialogue between the Kuki and the Meitei? Why don't you take that initiative yourself?
No, we have started, this peace process in very diplomatic way, but there is authority. Government is the sole authority body. So without endorse us, how can we bring the final solution? How can we bring the amicable solution? We are just the facilitator to make it meet each other.
So
we are doing at our best level.
You see your forum as facilitators.
Yes.
But the people who have to arrange the dialogue
Yes.
and bring the Kuki and the Meitei to
Yes.
the table to talk
Yes.
has to be the government.
Yes, because we have already placed before the governor of Manipur.
And if I understand correctly, when you say the government, it has to be the central government. It has to be Amit Shah, Narendra Modi. It cannot be Biren Singh because the Kukis do not trust Biren Singh.
Exactly. Kukis they have already given their statement very clearly. So there is two options or the policies. If the center change the leadership, there will be another policy for bringing peace and harmony. Or their center should be sent the goodwill mission.
Then let me ask you 3 questions before I end. Given that you're absolutely clear that the Kukis do not trust Biren Singh and therefore Biren Singh, as you said earlier, should not even be in the peace committee, but he can play no credible role in bringing the Kukis and Meiteis together to talk to each other. Should Biren Singh be removed? And secondly, should President's rule be imposed?
President rule imposes another alternative or another option. It depends on the parties, policies and that. But this remove of the Biren is a very, important at this juncture because of the policy.
At the very least, you're saying remove Biren Singh and appoint another chief minister.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, right.
At the moment, you're not demanding president's rule,
Yeah.
but you're saying change the chief minister.
Exactly.
Let's come to 2 more issues. The Kuki MP on Thursday, the 13th, issued an official press communique to say that their demand for separate administration means separate statehood. On Monday, just 3 days before Thursday,
Yes.
sitting where you are,
I know.
their spokesman had said to me
I know.
that the Kuki Impi were prepared to consider 3 options: statehood, union territory status, and autonomous territorial councils, preferably under the 6th schedule of the Constitution. But now the Impi have narrowed it down specifically to just one: statehood. That's all they want. What is your forum's position on the Kuki demand for a separate state?
I think at this point or at this juncture, the separate homeland or state is not possible. It's not possible because you know the situation of Manipur. Yes, our brothers, Kukis, let them demand whatever they want, they wish. But I, as a forum convener, would like to appeal, express that the demand should be, through peace dialogue or in democratic form, not by war, not by conflict. This is very clear from our forum.
But do you think when the dialogue starts,
Yeah.
this demand for separate statehood should be granted, or are you saying, no, the demand for separate statehood is out?
It's not possible at this juncture at all.
At all or at this juncture? Which of the two?
The statehood, separate statehood, not possible.
At all.
At all.
Okay. Let's then come to the last question, and that is the land imbalance in Manipur. And this is a major concern for the Meitei. The Meitei are 53% of the population, but they're restricted to the valley, which is roughly 10% of the state. The tribals are 40% of the population, but they have access to 90% of the hills exclusively, but they also have access to the valley as well. And in Meitei eyes, this is unfair and imbalanced. And the Meitei say that as a result, they should be given scheduled tribe status. What does your forum have to say about that?
That's Mr. Karan, sexual tribe demand is another issue. Not all the Meiteis are not recommended. Among the Meiteis also, there is a differences in many different ideas regarding the demand of the ST, sexual tribe. So they are just, starting the process through the court. That is in the hands of the court. That is in the hand of court. So the tribal should condemn or should oppose. That is another process. But in regarding for the demand of ST, sexual tribe, we should not fight each other. This is the constitutional or something like that.
But should the demand for scheduled tribe status be one of the issues that are discussed when the Kuki and the Meitei sit down?
No. This is not affecting. This is not the issues. This is not the root cause.
So it should not be part of the dialogue?
Yeah. It's not be part of the dialogue. Now the court is also very clear.
Okay.
The court
then
has
let me end by asking you this. How confident are you that within the next 10 days, 15 days, you can actually bring Meitei civil society organizations and Kuki civil society organizations together? How confident are you that you can at least start with the civil society organizations of both communities?
No, if our nation prime minister is not, giving any commitment or statement, I think I'm not confident. Any the positive comes in the state of Manipur, or if the center has not changed the leadership at this moment, then I'm not expecting any peace, process or something better. But the situation become worse and worse.
So there are two critical things. One, replace Biren Singh with another chief minister. And secondly, the central government, preferably Mr. Modi himself, must step in and take the initiative to start a dialogue. Those are two critical steps.
Exactly, you are right.
And if they don't happen, then what?
Then the worst will become more. Killing will be more. Fighting will be more.
So the responsibility if the situation deteriorates further is the central government's.
Exactly. All these consequences, the responsible shall be borne by the central government.
In fact, you could go one step further because you've invited the Prime Minister specifically.
Yes.
And if he doesn't come, and if the situation gets worse, if he doesn't take a personal initiative to bring the Kuki and the Meitei together, you're saying the responsibility will be Mr. Modi's himself.
Exactly, as a Prime Minister of this nation.
Mr. Kasar, thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Karan Thapar. Over the last few years, I hope you've been watching my program, The Interview on the Wire. During that period, I've interviewed doctors, politicians, businessmen, scientists, authors, and even the occasional Nobel laureate. For me, it's been exciting. I hope it's been enjoyable for you. But these, as you know, are tough times, and if this program is going to remain bold, independent, and sometimes even defiant, then I think we need your support. At the end of the day, it's a truism, but editorial independence is best defended by the viewers. So if you would like this program to remain the way it is, forthright, outspoken, and interesting, then would you consider supporting us? All you have to do is to click on the description at the bottom. But more than anything else, I hope you will continue to watch the interview. Your viewership means an awful lot to me.